What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, the 2023 roadmap has finally been released, or at least we'll call this the January 2023 roadmap. And I gotta say, there's some exciting stuff on here. There's also stuff that is a little disappointing, primarily because I think we were given dates that were not we were given dates in town halls that were probably just estimates and that are now being pushed out. And I'm looking at you, Guild Alliances. So let's go ahead and just do a deep dive into here, because we have not done one of these roadmap deep dives in a while because there hasn't really been an updated roadmap. So Q1 of 2023. Now keep in mind, we are already halfway through, or almost halfway through, the month of January. So I don't know where this stuff lands. I know that there's items that they wanted to get out by the end of January. I'm really hoping that they will be able to deliver on several things within the month of January, but they lumped everything in here with Q1 2023. So I'm expecting, unfortunately, some delays, and I just want to level set those expectations for everybody else. But the first thing, DECB, or we should really call it DEC batteries. I like that name way better. So this thing got approved. It's exciting, at least for me. I think it's going to be great. I wish there were more, but I'm glad that they're soulbound, and I hope that they sell out right away and that we make way more of them so that we can burn a ton more DEC in the short term. Now, if we look here, I don't know how and why these are color coded in different ways, but the other gray ones are like quality of life and ranked battle. But we'll jump away from that, or we'll jump down to that when we get to it. So underneath that, you have market, which is blue. Oh, I guess all the markets are blue. An economy, Rooney, guilds. All right, whatever. I'm getting lost here. Land is green, and then new cards are purple. Oh, look at this. And validators are red. Okay, so everything else is just gray, is what it seems like. Okay, so you got your market. Season rentals is something that is slated for Q1, which I don't remember what they had said in Town Hall, but I'm glad that it is going to be delivered in Q1. I think this is something that needs to happen sooner rather than later. Again, this was announced maybe in July or August of last year, and I think it'll just be easier for a lot of players to come in and know that their cards are not going to get canceled on them for the remainder of the season. So I'm hopeful for that. It may not push the economy one way or another, but I think it'll add a nice quality of life for a nice quality of life feature for many of the renters out there, which sometimes includes me, right? Like if I really want to go after it, I will rent cards for the remainder of the season to try and make it into Champ or Diamond 1. On a quality of life standard, though, they want to do group editions by set. We know Cryptomancer is working on that, has given a time frame of February so far. Now, validators, and I'm you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover validators all throughout. So validators right now, it looks like they're trying to do get it live internally, but also they want to get SPS delegation live in Q1. So that is actually quite huge, because we know that SPS delegation is going to be crucial to many things. So player staking, as well as replacing CP with SPS staking. So again, there's a couple of different things that we've been told SPS delegation is needed for. And so if we can get that in Q1, that'd be great. Again, that'd be by the end of March. And then Q2 for validators would actually give us a live test net. And so a live test net, which I think would be great. Again, it's just a test net. It's not a main net. That will be coming in Q3, or probably the second half of the year sometime. Now, in Q2, we can also expect, per the roadmap, SPS governance for player proposals, which, if you saw one of my recent videos, that actually just went live in a very informal way with the whole Hive blog, Hive posting, and then you got to upvote or downvote and all that. Like, that's an informal way to do it, but they are going to try and have an official way to get that done within Q2. And my guess is that if this informal way works well enough, then not that I would want to see this delayed, but I wonder if it would go down on the priority list for all the other things that they are trying to accomplish. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, let's go back to Q1. Quality of life group editions. Oh, we did that already. Okay, let's look at land as well. Now, I've talked at length about land. They want to add market functionality. They want an interactive map view, and then they want to complete phase 1, which is the surveying process. And my hope was that they would get that done in January. But my fear now is that if this is listed for Q1, it's probably going to take some time. And there are only 3 more release days, right, for January, meaning Tuesday release windows. So unless they were going to go boom, boom, boom and knock all 3 of them out, I highly doubt this is going to get finished in January. So my hope is that we do get phase 1 of land by February, mid-February, ideally, if it does have to get pushed out there. Now, this one is interesting. They have land phase 2, which is buildings and resources. But I think Aggie clarified in Mav Chat that this wouldn't include like NFT creation just yet, or NFT minting. So taking essentially all those resources and then minting items and spells. That doesn't include that. I believe that will probably end up being called land phase 3. But land phase 2, which is, you can start building your buildings and putting resources in or gathering resources from it, is set for Q3, which is interesting because Farpishad was saying that they wanted to get it out by the end of this year. So that actually seems quite ambitious. And I'm not going to hold my breath. So I mentally have already said that I'm prepared to wait until the end of 2023. If they surprise and delight with a Q3 delivery, I will be all the happier for it. But this seems to me to be very, very ambitious. And we're actually, this is probably the perfect time to look at the bottom where there's literally in the fine print, it says warning. All dates of upcoming changes at best are wildly optimistic hubris on the developer's part. We'll do our best to hit these dates and we'll try to keep the dates accurate for communication purposes. So if that is not one hell of a disclaimer, I don't know what is. But we appreciate the team trying to get this out sooner rather than later. So we'll leave it at that. Okay. Also in Q1, new cards. So we got the Soulbound reward cards, which I'm hoping that we will get by the end of January. That's when that's the last kind of time frame that we've heard for them. And then there's also a quarterly promo card sale that Aggie mentioned in the most recent town hall as something that he's working on. They put the paperwork out there, or the agreement. So we'll see if that ends up happening or if the deal falls through, as we've seen several other deals fall through in the past. But the good thing about this, and I think Aggie mentioned that as well in Mav Chat, is that it doesn't matter. If the deal falls through, they'll just create one on their own, like they did with Salty Bear, right? So that to me is awesome because it's like, if they can secure a partnership every quarter, awesome. If they can't, we should still get a promo card every quarter that helps us either burn DEC or give DEC as revenue to the team, maybe burn some vouchers. I think that's going to be great. It's a nice cadence. Monthly is probably too much, but quarterly I think is great. So we got Salty Bear at the end of December. I would love to see a whatever else that they can put together by the end of Q1, which would be March, right? So it's just like 2 months away. Okay, and then ranked battles. They have new rule sets that are coming out. We saw just a couple that were dropped on this most recent update day. League rating point changes. I'm not sure what that is, although a lot of the speculation in Mav Chat has to do with, is saying that it has to do with a lot of the ratings inflation that happens. So if the game becomes significantly harder for everyone, including bots, but also humans, that could make things interesting. It could also make things very frustrating because it's like, I probably don't deserve to be a like Diamond 1 player, but I tend to make it there by the end of the season with my deck, which is mostly gold, but I tend to make it there just probably due to ratings inflation. So that could be really interesting to see how, it plays out and what they mean by that. So we'll hope to get some further clarification. And then the last part here is 3 rule sets per battle, which was teased by Yaba, I think, during a previous town hall. So again, I think it's exciting. I know it's not even whether or not it's being used to combat bots. I, as a player, think it's exciting to add another element into the mix. So take that for what it is. Okay, let's move on to Q2 now. So you got the market situation here. They want to do card bundles, which I think is a great idea. I think it kind of goes very well in line with what Nifty Arcade is doing, where you can go and rent an entire set of something. Now, I've heard the counter argument that like people will realize that they only need certain cards, which ultimately that they'll just end up renting those. But I think the card bundle thing is really for newer players, right? If you don't know what you don't know and you don't know what you need, then you just go in and rent everything. And hopefully there'll be a nice kind of consolidated price for you where you go in, however much it is, you play the game for a season, you see what works, what doesn't, and then you can go in and start building your own deck, whether you are buying those cards or renting them out. And then the other part here is SPS delegation rental markets. So keep in mind that part of this is going to also include the ability to rent SPS. Now, SPS is on sale for like 2.5 cents, less than 2.5 cents, maybe 2 cents. So I have no idea what the pricing to rent like 10,000 SPS should be. It's going to be interesting, but I have a feeling it's going to be like in the pennies, right? So I don't know what that market looks like, but as somebody who has SPS and would love the SPS delegation feature to use that for people here on the channel or for people in my guild, I'm excited to see what SPS delegation and then the rental market will look like for that if I can earn something else from my SPS over time, right? We'll have to see if that yield is better than actually staking the SPS myself. But again, this seems so far out, but we'll see how it ends up playing out. Ranked battles, they want to replace CP with CP requirement with SPS staking. I think that's interesting. I haven't really talked as much about that outside of the videos previously. I don't know, I understand a lot of the arguments against it because it's just like people built up their decks with the intention of playing, being able to play at the higher leagues. And now you're going to gate it further by saying not only do they need to have the cards to compete in that league, they will also need to buy SPS and have a stake in the game. But to me, the fact that if you're here now, right, you've already been earning SPS. And when you come in and start playing the game, you earn SPS. So you build up your stake over time. Granted, I know it's probably not as fast as people would like, but I want to see more utility for SPS, more direct utility for SPS, not just the burning for DEC. Now, the new players thing here, they're talking about an improved tutorial and one-click set rentals. I think that goes in line with the card bundle, so I am all excited for that. Q2, they have another quarterly promo card sale, so that's probably an easy copy-paste for them to do from Q1 to Q2. Rooney, though, will have the ability to be combined. Again, we don't know what the value of that will be or what the utility of that will be just yet, but right below it is guild alliances. So this is probably the thing that I am most disappointed with in this entire graphic because, and all love to Weirdbeard, but he was probably being a little too optimistic when he said that they were shooting to get guild alliances out in Q1. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome because that's like 2 months away. But you say Q2 now, and all of a sudden it goes from 2 months to 5 months because there's no way. There's probably just no way that they're going to get it out like early Q2 at this point. If they're already saying Q2, I'm worried it's going to get pushed to Q3. It's just I've just been trained. I can't help it. I've just been trained. So we'll see what Rooney or combining Rooney, what utility that will have, and what kind of Rooney staking benefits you'll get with your guild alliances. But I'm really hopeful. Oh gosh, this is going to sound terrible and super bearish now. I was really hopeful that we would be able to fix up the economy before by the end of Q1, mainly because Chaos Legion was going to be ending then. I thought guild alliances would be out. I was hoping that DECB could do some great stuff too. But with guild alliances getting pushed out to Q2, this whole getting DEC back to peg and getting the economy in better shape is probably going to get pushed out as well, unless DECB can perform like no other. And I don't think that DECB in its current form with only 2 billion supply is going to do that. So, we'll end up seeing how it is. But if you look at Q2 and where it leads into Q3, the new cards here for Q3 include Rebellion. Now, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, Chaos Legion sells out, burns out by the end of March. So 3 months from that would be exactly the start of July. Are we going to see it in July? I don't know. I don't know if 3 months is enough. I don't know if the team will want a longer time period than that. I don't know if it'll be ready, right, from a creative development standpoint. But I'm hopeful that we do get to see it early in Q1 because Q1 goes as late as September, and if we see this thing get pushed out quite a bit, then I would start to get worried about not worried, but I would love for summer to be an awesome time. I want Summer of Splinterlands 2.0, and if you're going to get us guild alliances by the end of spring, if you're going to get us a couple of quarterly promo cards, you're going to have SPS delegations and rental markets and all that stuff ready to go. I would love to see everything kind of like just get pushed out in Summer of Splinterlands. And we see in the middle of summer when everybody should be outside playing, we're all inside because we want to play Rebellion with these, the new cards that are coming in. So again, I'm hoping that we get that July, but we'll end up seeing where things shake out and what the appetite for that ends up being. And then finally, skins and cosmetics looks like it is going for the second half of the year. So that is probably the second most disappointing thing on here. And the third most disappointing thing is something that is not actually even on here, but in relation to the economy is the Battle Pass. So everybody's excited about the Battle Pass. Everybody's excited about new game features. That being said, it's not on here, so it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just we don't know when it'll be. But if skins and cosmetics are not happening until Q3, then I would assume that skins and cosmetics are going to be a big part of any kind of battle pass that is put together. So I was really hopeful that we would get a battle pass probably as soon as Q1 because it was such a hot topic. But recent comments in the town hall and recent comments in the town hall have led me to believe that we are further away from that. And obviously this kind of confirms it. Now it's not, well, it doesn't really confirm it, but if skins and cosmetics won't be ready until Q3, then I probably wouldn't expect the battle pass until Q3, Q4, maybe even next year, right? Like there's a lot. It doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot that the team needs to do on this list, and they're doing it with half the staff that they had before. So, I think the risk, I think there's more risk than there is reward in the sense that like we probably won't get things added on here. We'll probably get things delayed, especially if the market continues to turn for the worst. But I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. The team has been delivering awesome stuff the past couple of weeks. Sure, is it disappointing that some of the stuff is probably going to get pushed out to February, Q2, whatever you want to call it? Yeah, definitely. But some of the things that I would like to focus on, at least in the near future, would probably be Soulbound Reward Cards and DECB. I think both of those have the opportunity, as well as Land, right? I think the three of those have the opportunity within the next, we'll call it 3 to 4 weeks, to hopefully add some value to the ecosystem overall and burn a ton of DEC if possible. So, that's really all I have. This is the updated roadmap. So here is your deep dive for January 2023. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is there stuff on here that you think shouldn't be on here? Is there stuff that is not on here, like the Battle Pass, that you wish was on here? Again, this is probably, when the team is asked about this at the next town hall, they're probably going to say it's not an all-encompassing list, but just kind of a high level. So, we'll see where things play out. But Q1 and Q2 still look interesting to me. I just wish more stuff was in Q1 than Q2. But, I'm like everybody else in the rest of the community. When do I want it? Yesterday, right? So that's just how it works. So, all right, guys, that's all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.